I've been giving you a lot of information about getting unstuck, dealing with the intense feelings that go along with a crossroad. Well, today I have a really special treat. I'm going to be interviewing Alex, and Alex is going to tell you what it feels like to be in a crossroad and how she's dealing with it. Coming up. Welcome, Alex. I really want to thank you for putting a face on the crossroad. You know, we met a couple of months ago. You made a huge impression on me. You talked about, well, you took the elevations assessment, and then we talked a little bit about what you've been going through. And so I'm looking forward to sharing your story with our viewers.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the jobs you've had since college and the struggle that you've been experiencing?
Absolutely. So I think I had my first paralegal position at about 20 years old after college, and since then had been doing that, except for about 2 years. I took a little detour and did recruiting for a life sciences company. All the while being extremely grateful for those positions, I felt unfulfilled, lacking the feeling of passion for those positions. I think I always felt like my personality was in the wrong place, that I had so much more to offer.
I love the way you said that. My personality was in the wrong place.
Yeah, it felt a little wasted. I was always great at what I did, and my bosses were always, I got very lucky. They were amazing. But it was just that sense of I wasn't doing exactly what I was meant to do. Like I had so much more to offer.
Yeah. And you talked a little bit about school, and I thought it was really rich because you talked about the time that you would have put into school and the money you would have put into school. So tell our viewers a little bit about the decision you made with school.
Yes, I was a social butterfly in high school. So as you can imagine, that took a lot of my time instead of my studies. I also played basketball, which was great. But by the time I was a senior, I didn't really have a sense of what I wanted to do, in the future. And obviously when you're a senior, junior, I should say, actually, everyone's talking to you about where do you want to apply and, where do you want to go? And I didn't know. I just knew that had I gone to, any of the popular four-year universities around my area, I likely could have just partied and socialized and gone that route, which is, in my opinion, I didn't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars doing that. I knew I didn't want to get in a lot of debt. So I chose the shorter route and got my associate's degree, but I actually started that in general studies, and a couple semesters in, I did realize that general studies wasn't going to take me anywhere either. My goal was to get into the real world as fast as I could to get a to get a good career going. So I did choose the paralegal studies for a quick associate's degree, but did not want to take on the four-year degree.
Right. So what I'm hearing is that you were trying to be smart. You didn't want to get in a bunch of debt. If you didn't think you were serious about what you were studying or wasn't going to get you where you wanted to go, you didn't want to take the time to do that.
Absolutely.
Right, right. And when we met a couple months ago, and you were describing your situation, and like you said, not real fulfilled, not feeling like you're living the life that you were born to live, I mentioned the term quarter-life crisis, and you cracked up.
It was perfect. It was exactly.
Tell me exactly why the quarter-life crisis term just connected.
Because it's exactly what I'm going through, but I hadn't really connected that term to my feelings. But I mean, because everyone always talks about the midlife crisis, which happens when you're, an adult after your kids leave. I think, I don't know exactly, but it's just perfect because I'm 28, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I have a great support system, but my career, I felt a little lost. I've moved around quite a bit since leaving my hometown when I was 21 or 22, but nothing's really clicked. I want to wake up in the morning and be excited to do what I have to do for the majority of the day. I think it also came to light a little bit more when my current relationship, my boyfriend's on a very different schedule than I am, and it brought to my attention how much more I wanted free time. I wanted to control my life rather than the other way around. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the 9 to 5, but it's not for me.
I loved your annoyance with the concept that you should follow your passion.
Yes.
Because you had been told multiple times that you should follow your passion, and you would be happy to if someone would let you know what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people say that all the time, and I think that there's so many people that feel the same way that I do, and that don't have this like very obvious passion. So then if you don't, where do you go? You're just floating around looking for your passion.
So in reality now, I've forgotten about the cameras, and I heard you say I don't have any real talent.
Yeah, I know, that sounds bad.
And no, it was beautiful because that's exactly how the people who are watching feel.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel to have me say all that about what your potential is? How does that connect for you?
It was exciting, and it was kind of relieving, actually, just to hear an outsider's point of view. And obviously, we didn't know each other at all at the time, which I think makes it even more authentic because you were just going off of what you were learning, of me at that time. But it's exciting to just feel I can do anything I want to do, ultimately, think outside the box and go after what feels a little scary even. And for me to hear you say things that I have thought about in the past, but have never followed through on them because they are a little scary, starting off. So much is social media these days, and so much is starting off, at ground zero and building your own empire, which is scary and not always easy. It's obviously a lot easier to just go find a 9-to-5 and get a salary and go about your day. But that's not what I want to do. That's not what's going to fulfill me. So it was really exciting to just kind of think outside the box with you and hear your professional opinion, because this is, what you do, and your opinion matters.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see what you're going to do.
Thank you.
What I want to ask, so obviously you've made progress over the last 3 months. Where is your strength coming from right now?
I would say, of course, my support system, because during this transition, you do have those days where you get in your head and you worry about the future. And, I'm currently unemployed because I did decide to leave my job and take a leap of faith on a new adventure. And not every day is, feeling that fire. Some days are a little bit stressful, and you start wondering, did I make the right choice? And is this going to be the right choice? So absolutely my support system, my family, my boyfriend, my friends. But just understanding that I'm exactly where I need to be, kind of settling in on that. I'm definitely, I look for cues and little signs throughout every day and let those comfort me. I have actually been a little stressed. Obviously, not having a job is the first time since I was 16, and when you can start working, that I haven't had a job, a steady job, a secure job. And I was talking to my mom about that recently, and I've actually been offered 2 jobs in the past week by completely not related to anything I want to do, but it's just kind of the universe, talking to me like, relax a little, and you're exactly where you need to be, and find strength in that and just keep plugging away.
I noticed that you're on a upward swing with the roller coaster. What are you doing with that right now?
So I did decide to leave my job, leave paralegal behind. I absolutely do not want to continue in that career path. So I am taking an interest in real estate. So I'm currently in real estate school. I think it's going to be a great opportunity to just keep pushing me forward with new things. I don't know if that's going to be my end all, but it'll help me sell myself, get me in a new adventure, meeting new people, doing new things, and who knows what's next.
What I really like about it is that it's not, it's something that you could puzzle piece into something else, so you're not blocking yourself from your future growth.
Absolutely.
I think that's really smart.
Absolutely.
So if you had one piece of advice for the people who are watching, who are many of them in that crossroad, in that roller coaster of not knowing, what one piece of advice would you give them?
Don't be afraid to think outside of the traditional things that we've all been ingrained with since we were, growing up. The high school, college, marry the person you met in college, have a family, have a 9-to-5. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm very happy in a relationship. Do I want a family? Maybe, I don't know. But do I feel that I need to do that by the time I'm 30? No. And unfortunately, I think that we've all been told that that's the traditional step that we have to do, and then we kind of backseat what we actually think might be, the most exciting adventure of all. So I think just don't be afraid to be different and to take that leap of faith on something that scares you. It sounds super cheesy, but typically what scares you is what's going to help you grow. I mean, I'm in the thick of that right now, being in a new place and not having my family close by, and honestly not having any, friends at this point. I'm obviously making friends, but everything is new and it is a little scary. But I know for a fact that next year is going to be a whole new life, and that's exciting. And for the years to come, it's going to be
step out of the traditional box if you want to.
Absolutely.
And see that as a broad brush. So I'm going to close reminding you of an action step that I told you when we met. And what I told you was, I know you want your roller coaster to end.
It would be nice.
It would feel good. It's a real strong impulse that people have.
Yeah.
And I told you that it probably isn't done, and that I want you to finish to the point where you get to a place in your life where you're truly reaching your potential. And so that's also what I want to tell the folks who are watching us today, is that they also have to have the willingness to hang in there, because it's
Absolutely.
probably going to take longer than you want it to.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.